You're listening to a Loot Dummies podcast, LOOTDummies.com. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party adventures across the lands. Solid Grug, half-orc fighter-sorcerer from the wretched valleys of Mek'Zim, played by Taylor. A Learlock Bloodhair, Harengon cleric whose fate seems determined by luck itself, played by Joey. Pomerel the Gatekeeper, Summer Eladrin paladin from the Feywild city of Solaria, played by Seth. And Body Not Greenleaf, the halfling rogue with a penchant for taking things that don't belong to him, played by Josh. And last but not least, the creator of our beautiful world, the man of many voices, and our dungeon master, Sam. And welcome back, everyone, to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, the podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. If you are enjoying the show, check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/lootdummies for an all-new campaign and tons of other goodies, including access to our Discord where you can chat with us. On the last few episodes of the campaign, the party decides to leave the sword behind and leave the Rotwood and head towards the town of Pokerrit. They begin heading southeast, and that night, as they bed down for camp, they are attacked by a Bodak who releases 3 hostile spirits. The next day, as we begin traveling, right as we make it to the edge of the Rotwood, Learlock and Pomerel notice bones and carcasses laying around. About that moment, we are surrounded by zombies who begin to pop up out of the earth and skeletons who form themselves and attack. Right as we are about to arrive in the town of Pokerrit, we see something strange flying above the bridge up ahead, and that is where we're going to pick up here.
Yeah, so you guys are making your way towards Pokerrit. As you're headed that way, you start to see occasional signs of civilization, like old bridges that help you cross gorges that you come across a little bit easier, and you've kind of found like a little old road. It's very grown up, doesn't look like it's traveled much, but you can find like an old signpost that says like Pokerrit this way. As you're crossing over one of these dilapidated bridges, you spot a figure in the sky moving towards you at kind of an erratic pattern. It's shifting around, it's shaking and wobbling, kind of darting back and forth. And as you get closer, you realize that it's a butterfly. But as it continues to get closer, you realize that it's not normal butterfly sized. It's huge. It's got like a 10-foot wingspan, and it's just flapping all over the place. And every time it flaps, it's launching itself backwards like a crawfish in the water. It launches itself towards you guys, and right when it gets down close to the bridge, it kind of turns towards y'all and lets out a swing of its wings. And I need all of you to make me a strength saving throw to keep from being blasted by the wind that this thing flings at you.
How close is everybody to me?
Y'all are all right next to each other.
So +5 to everyone.
27.
18.
Not one.
19.
Y'all just get this tornado, but you kind of like hold on tight, and you don't get blown off your horses, or Jeffrey doesn't get blown off either. And it flips itself backwards and sails off into the sky and continues flapping up, and it flaps up and flies away. And that was that whole.
I turn and look at the Learlock and I'm like, the fuck was that thing's problem?
Very rude.
Just keep going.
Pomerel just looks over and goes, "Is that not normal?"
No, not for me.
I don't know what's normal anymore.
Huh. Fascinating.
Okay, so you guys continue on. It's a pretty uneventful day of travel. Late into the evening, as the sun is starting to set, you see off in the distance a city. It's got a stone wall. It's kind of hard to get a good beat on it from this distance, but it seems to be in a bit of disarray. You can see even from this distance that some of the towers around the wall are kind of crumbled and damaged. You can see into the city just a little bit, and you see buildings that seem to have a little bit of damage on them. There's a muddy, I'm going to use the word moat, but it's really just like a low area around the city that's just kind of full of mud, and there's some, kind of built up makeshift roadways to get you to the entrances of the city. All the entrances have portcullises down, and you can see from a distance that the walls are manned. There are guards up on the walls.
I have a very important question.
Okay.
Do we see life?
Yes. Yeah, there are torches lit because it's starting to get evening, and the people up on the tower are moving back and forth with purpose. They seem to be wearing full clothing and armor, and it's not a particularly exciting looking place, but there does seem to be signs of life.
What was the weather for the 12th of Frost?
Oh god.
No!
Thought we were gonna get away without it, and I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, yeah, because it's the weather that you arrived to town with. It's so important.
It's very important. I know you would think so.
Oh my god. Okay, all right. It's warmed up a little bit since y'all's previous, whatever the words I was looking for were. So it's up to a nice brisk 65 today.
Wow. 15 to 65. It's like
Yeah, well, I
Arkansas.
mean, you've gone south a little bit. You've gotten out of this nasty cold swamp gnarliness. It's been very windy today, but it has been sunny all day. So
Literally like IRL the last few days.
yes, yep, windy, sunny, and warmer.
Yeah.
I give Revenge a kick towards the gate and yell back to Body Knock, restock on sausages here.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be out in a new area. My gosh. That was great,
Dude.
but I'm ready for something new.
I
Right?
fucking hated
Yeah.
it.
Y'all have been in the Rotwood for, I mean, let me check my
Months in real life.
Yeah, real life months, but I mean weeks. Let me see here. Yeah, Shambling Mound's on the 4th, and today is the 12th.
Like 8 days.
A full stint.
On the 7th of Frost, we were walking across the water.
5 days in that deep shit.
So yeah, y'all tell me what you want to do. I have made a little scene here and placed y'all like right up at the gates of the city, but obviously if y'all want to approach the city in some other way, that's fine.
So I say that sausage comment to Body Knock, and I'm gonna ride up to the gate and yell out to this guard above the gate up on the what is that called?
Ramparts?
Rampart? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so there's a couple up there, and when you yell out, one actually steps up. There's one down on this side of the closed portcullis, and he steps forward there. He says, "Halt! Who goes there?"
Hello.
It's starting to get dark now. It's like dusk, like after dusk, so it's kind of hard to see them, kind of hard to see you. They don't have like a lot of torches. Like it's kind of dark.
My name's Talik Grug, and I'm gonna fumble around for the writ from the Confluence Guild Hall and try and find that and pull that out and just hold it up. I'm sure it's small or whatever, but I'm gonna say we're travelers. We're from Confluence Guild Hall.
Oh, what have you there? Bring it here. Kind of waves him forward.
Yeah, I'll walk towards him.
Okay.
Hold it out towards him.
There's one down on the ground, so he reaches out and takes it from you. He looks it over. He says, "Everything looks to be in order. Do you have your wayfinder?"
Oh, yeah, somebody does. I look back at the other guys.
I'm pretty sure I have it, don't I?
Well, you had it, but in your absence, I'd had you leave it with Leech so they could recover it.
Yeah, and we got it. Somebody's got it.
And then Shadow had it for a while, but I know he gave it to you guys when he.
I don't think I have it.
I think he gave it to
I think
Pollock.
Shadow gave me the stuff when he was leaving because he had known me the longest.
Yeah, Speak Scrolls, the Wayfinder, and the Writ. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So he looks it all over. He says, "Everything seems to be in order. Whereabouts did you come to Pokerid, and what's your business here?"
Oh well, we're somebody help me out. It's not my.
We're looking for lodgings for now.
He holds up his torch and looks back at you. He says, "Are you with him? You a Confluence member?"
Yeah.
And he kind of locks eyes with the rest of you. Looks at Bodyknock.
Yep. Same.
Looks at Paul Morrell.
Feather beds, feather pillows, silk sheets, quiet rooms. He doesn't know what's going on. He just sees the city.
All right. Well,
He's with us.
This giant Fey warhorse.
he's like, okay, you can't be too careful. How did you come here? You're not from Osajiski. How'd you make it up here?
Well, it's a long story, and we've been out in the Rotwood for a long time. So can we come in the gates and talk?
When you say that, his eyes kind of go wide. He takes a glance up to the people on the rampart up above you, and one of them looks down and nods and kind of steps away. He says, "Oh, hold on just a moment. You said you came from the Rotwood?"
Well, we went through the Rotwood. It's part of a whole thing. It's a long story.
Pomerel's just like, my good man, we have coin. Do you have beds?
We do, but I'm sorry. And by this point, they've opened up the portcullis, and a man with more insignia on him clearly appears to be the reporting officer. He says, "What seems to be going on here, son?" And he's like, "These gentlemen, they're guild members from the Confluence Guild Hall, but they said they came through the Rotwood to get here." He looks you guys up and down. It's like, apologies, we don't get a lot of visitors here. You said you came through the Rotwood.
So Pomerel, trying to avoid telling a lie, says, yes, my good man, we are all from the Gilded Hall, and we've been traveling through that accursed Rotwood, dealing with this ridiculous cursed object that is no longer of anyone's concern, and we are wet, disgusting, and despaired beyond belief. Please let us in so we can find a bed.
You are right. Please, come on in. If you will, though, Father Therm would like to see you immediately. And by this point, you actually see that some people have kind of gathered up around the entrance to the gate. You know, apparently they don't get a lot of visitors, so there seem to be some civilians kind of peeking out. And he says, "Listen, just to avoid any sort of scene, it would be very helpful if y'all would come with me to see Father Therm and share with him your experiences and make sure that you aren't carrying anything unpleasant."
Yeah, that sounds great. That's what we're looking for.
Pomerel looks at Talak and goes, is this your father, Talak?
Just try not to talk so much. Let's only answer when asked a direct question.
Talak, it is very important. Bed and wine.
Yes, bed and wine. Focus on that.
While y'all are having this conversation, they're leading you through the city. There's people kind of like whispering on the sides of the street. A lot of houses seem to already be shutting down for the evening, but the few people that are wandering around kind of, mumble and murmur as you guys are passing. And it seems like you're already hearing whispers of like, oh, Rotwood, these guys, they say they're from the Rotwood. It seems like news is traveling faster than y'all can even walk. You quickly find yourselves at a beautiful church. It's definitely seen better days. The stonework on the outside has been repaired multiple times, but seems to be repaired in with not necessarily matching stone and stuff like that. That kind of seems to be a theme throughout the whole city as you're passing through. Civilian buildings seem to have the same situation. In fact, there seems to be some work being done at the moment, even. And as you pass by one alleyway, you look down and you actually see a fire burning. Can you all make me a perception check?
Who are we going to see, Father? What? Oh my God.
Thurm, Thurm.
2 minus 1 for a
What
1.
a 9.
Incredible. Anybody else?
18.
16, 18. You look down and you see a burning pile of what appears to be corpses. Talik has no idea what it is. He probably doesn't even notice that there's a fire in an open area down the way. But you guys notice that it appears to be corpses, but not humanoid corpses. It actually looks like a large avian creature, similar to those axe beaks that you guys encountered out on the plains. Gosh, however long ago that was.
That was an XM.
Palmerell looks over at Talik and in Orcish. She spits out, "Look at the bodies."
Yeah. You could have just said that in common, man. You're freaking me out.
So you guys make it to the entrance to this church, like I said, and the guard walks up and whispers something to this lady in purple and black robes, and she says, "Oh, understood." And she starts forward. She says, welcome to Pokorit. Apologies that we are not being more accommodating, but you understand there's procedures that we must do. Please follow me." And she leads you into the church.
Palmerell stops in front of this structure and he's trying to figure out what it is that they're honoring or worshiping, or if they're not worshiping something but someone. He's pretty well versed in the Feywild deities, but not as much in the material plane deities.
Yeah, well, go ahead and make me a religion check.
Straight up 6.
Straight up 6. So I'll tell you what you see as far as religious iconography. You see emblazoned in a few different places, and out front, actually, there's a sign. So, I mean, there's no confusion to this portion, but it said First Temple of Kelemvor, Kelemvor. You don't necessarily know anything specific about Kelemvor. You believe that he is a death deity of some kind, but that's all you'd get with a 6. That's not a surprising thing due to the iconography that you see, which is a skeletal hand holding Libra scales, like it's the post in the middle that holds up 2 Libra scales.
Palmerell's freaked the fuck out.
Mm.
He stands up straight, as noble as he can, and he walks quickly up to Alirlock and he whispers to Alirlock and he says, "I don't like this place." And then he doesn't say anything else, and he just walks within touching distance of Alirlock.
So y'all are keeping it tight going into the church here, and she leads you through. There's some people kind of quietly praying at the pews as you pass in, a handful of people here or there. There's not a mass or anything, and she takes you all the way up to the very front of the church. It's better lit in here than the rest of town has been. There's candles on the chandeliers and candles all around the outside, and it's a very reverent atmosphere. And she whispers to a gentleman who's standing behind a large wooden pulpit at the front of the church, and he's got purple and black robes on again. His are much more ornate, and he's got the little bishop collar going on. He's got a balding head, gray hair. He looks up from what he's doing and takes off some glasses, which are fairly rare sight in this world. And he raises up his arms and says, "Welcome to Pokorit." And he steps out from behind in the podium thing and walks up to you guys. And he kind of like reaches out with a hand towards Talik's face, like with a gentle hand. He doesn't quite touch you, but he gets really close, and his eyes lock eyes with you, and they're these just like piercing green eyes with a coolness to them, but they're very keen. And he looks as if he's looking into your soul. He says, "Welcome here to Pokerit. I am Father Thurm. It's good to make your acquaintance. I hear that you've come out of the Rotwood." And he says it loud enough that the people sitting in the front rows kind of hear that. They immediately like stop their praying and start whispering like, "Rotwood, Rotwood." One guy actually gets up and just leaves and just walks out of the back of the church.
I'm like, okay, all right. I mentioned Rotwood. We're not from the Rotwood. And I say it loud enough for everyone around to hear. I'm like looking around at all the patrons. We just came through there. We got lost. It was a weird detour. We're from Bilyatok, the Confluence Guild. Have you heard of it?
Yes, of course.
As Talek starts talking, this man reaches up and nearly touches Talek. Pomerel is maneuvered close behind him, and he reaches up and he taps Talek on the shoulder, not enough for Talek to necessarily notice, but enough to make contact. And he casts Enhance Ability and gives Talek Fox's Cunning, which gives him advantage on all intelligence checks for the next hour.
Okay.
Cool.
He says, "Of course, I meant no offense. I only trying to understand what the situation here is. We don't get many visitors, and normally when we do, they're either from Osajiski or they come by special means in a large caravan or something from the Reckon Alliance. To have a small group such as yourself here, even being from Adventurers Guild, is an unusual arrival for us. You forgive me for my hospitality has been slim. I would like to say a word over you, if I may.
What?
A word of cleansing and protection."
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure.
Please step forward, all of you. Come.
Pomerel looks over at Alerlock and slowly steps forward.
I hesitantly move forward.
Whatever you got can't be worse than what we've been dealing with.
He actually smirks a little bit to that. What's Body Knock doing?
I'm gonna hide behind one of the pews. I don't like this guy. I think he's gonna try to give me a shot.
Make me a stealth check.
Oh, God.
So that was a 9. So that was actually a 10.
Oh god.
Plus 11, 21.
Let me check
Beautiful.
here. Nobody like told him how many there were or anything. You know, maybe one of the ladies knew that she brought 4 in, but he sees you 3. He puts his hands on your shoulders. He just says, "In the name of Kalimvor, cleanse any ails that may be lingering on these people from the decrepit lands to our north. Make them safe and cunning." And as he's giving this little prayer over you guys, he's kind of waxing on for a few seconds. And you guys hear a door open, not behind you guys, but one of these doors actually in the front of the church that goes off to the side. And in through the door comes this guy that is armored up in silver armor, and he's got a big golden eagle emblazoned on his chest. It actually matches the eagle that is on Pomerel's shining shield. You took the shining shield, right?
No.
No, who has the shining
I
shield?
think Talek has it.
I have the Shining Shield.
The shining shield. It matches the shining shield, and he steps up to you guys. He says, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Father Thurm. I heard we had visitors and came to offer my services if they were needed." He lets his hand off of his sword hilt as he's saying this, and kind of like steps forward. He says, "Let me be the first to welcome you to Pokerit. My name is Garnax Marine."
Spelling.
I'm gonna drop it into Discord.
Okay.
So Father Thurm turns to him. He says, "It's all right, Garnax. We were simply giving these fine men a blessing as they've entered our humble city here. We wanted to make sure that they were cleansed from any ills that they might have encountered in the Rotwood. He says, "Yes, well, everything seems to be in order here, sir. I'm sorry for barging in, making a scene." So he's got this ruddy brown hair and a scruffy beard. He's got scars all over his face, but his armor's in pretty good shape.
I think I just nod at the guy. I don't know that I would say anything to him.
All at the same time of this, you hear another person running in from the back of the church, the same way that you guys ran in. He has similar armor on, seems to be of a lower rank, but similar armor to Garnax, who's just come in. He says, "Sir!" He's out of breath, huffing. "Sir, there's reports from the south. There's been another attack." Garnax kind of shuffles past you guys. He says, "What? Where?" He says, "A city to the south of here. Apparently it was been an absolute massacre. Far more than what we saw here." And as they continue out the front gate, and you hear Garnax, he turns around to you guys. He says, "My apologies, I must go. May Lathander speed your journey and shield you from folly and inaction." And he sprints out. He says, "Please, lead the way. Gather what soldiers we have, and deploy. Meet me at the south gate in half an hour." They head out the back door.
What was that? What's going on, Father?
Father Therm takes a deep breath. He says, "We've been having trouble with the wildlife lately. Strange happenings and reports of attacks on the city. We actually had one here, not just in the villages around. But Garnax, he means well, but he's so quick to action without even considering the details. Closest village outside of Pokeret is a day's ride. He's not riding into battle. He doesn't need soldiers. He should be sending aid." He leans over to one of the ladies in purple and kind of motions her over. He says, "Please, tell the King Regent to gather a humanitarian effort to send first thing in the morning."
Now, when you say wildlife, do you mean normal wildlife, or do you mean extra wildlife?
Mutated creatures.
Unstable wildlife.
Is this something that y'all experienced in the Rotwood?
No. Well, yes, but we've experienced it all over. That's actually why we're here in a roundabout way. We're headed to Asajiski because of this whole mutated creature thing that's happening.
I see.
Tell me about the monkey man.
Yeah, we're actually looking for someone named Zaius, some sort of ape man. And anyways, it's a long story. We've been on the trail of this whole thing. We're trying to figure it out ourselves. That's our path that we've chosen.
See, this is some news. I appreciate your candid honesty. As it were, we just had an attack 2 days ago from a group of Axebeaks. They were moving so fast, they sprinted up the walls and into the city, causing pandemonium. There was few casualties, but it was quite destructive and very upsetting to the populace here. We're used to dealing with a bit more slow and deliberate foes. I'm sure the likes of which you've encountered if you spent any time up north. I apologize, I've kept you too long. I appreciate you coming here and acquiescing to our requests. You should find shelter. I believe there is an inn just down the road, the Greenwater Inn. I'm sure they would be happy to accommodate you. They have a stable. They can accommodate your horses as well.
Very well. Let me ask you.
Of course, yes.
Pomerel kind of starts to get back into his noble stance and is slightly less wigged out. Father of Tulloch, Mr. Therm, sir, where is this King Regent that you speak of, as I am an envoy of Queen Islania of the Eladrin?
Let me do something real quick. He kind of darts back and forth, looking into your eyes, to see if you're telling the truth, and he is taking you at face value. He says, "Welcome, sir," and he kind of does like a little unintentional bow, almost. He says, King Regent Doss Marine is found at the Castle Keep at the top of the hill. I could arrange for you to meet him if that is something that you would like.
Palmerell looks to Talik and Alirlock for direction.
We might have some info that he would want to hear, and sounds like he might have some that we need.
You speak wise. We are honored to have you here. And he calls one of his lieutenants over and says, will you please follow Miss Charnay and send this additional message that we have visitors who have information about these attacks, as well as an envoy from Queen Isolania of the Eladrin. She kind of looks funny, and he just nods to her like, just go. He'll know. And she leaves as well.
Talik. Beds and wine.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
You ain't lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Beds and whining.
Palmerell kind of sachets out of the church, feeling all pumped up because it's the first time he's been acknowledged as a noble since he's joined this motley crew.
Sachets. Wow.
So we head over to the Greenwater Tavern.
Yeah.
Or
So the
inn.
Greenwater Inn. It appears to be in a tavern. It's got, a simple sign on the front. It says Greenwater Inn, and it's got like a carving of a frog face, like a cutesy frog face, winking with its tongue out. And it doesn't seem to be. There's not a lot of like sound coming out of it. It's not real bright inside either. You're actually not 100% sure if they're open.
Hello? Anybody here?
You kind of knock on the door, and it kind of moves like it's unlocked. It's just a revolving door.
I head in.
You push in, and you see a man sitting off on a table by himself in the corner. He's just kind of nursing a glass, and you hear something behind the bar, and then pops up from behind the bar. You see a
yes,
little frog man, like a little tree frog man. He's not much bigger than Body Knock, and he kind of peers up over the table and says, "Oh, come on in, customers. Oh, please grab a chair, grab a table." And he comes around the outside of his bar and kind of hops over to you and then stands up full. He's got a messy apron covered in some sort of splattered stuff and a ladle in his hand still. He says, "Oh, sorry." He just sets the ladle down on the table next to him.
Palmerell just goes, 3 bottles of wine for me, 3 bottles of wine for Talik, 3 bottles of wine for our friend here with the fur, 3 bottles of wine for the short one.
Sure. So that's 15 bottles of wine.
Sounds great.
Would you like anything to eat?
Sausages.
Sausages. Oh man, I just cooked up a huge collection of blood sausages. You're gonna love them. It's my special recipe.
While he's talking, I go over to the nearest table and I'm looking for a beer, even if it's like half drank or like just foam, and I just grab it and just chug it down. And I'm like,
There's an old cup there. You go to chug it, and it's just like a quarter ounce of some sort of just swill. It's like what was left in the glass, and it's probably been there for days.
that was unsatisfying. And I go over to the bar and I'm like, skip my wine, please. I need ale. It's been too long.
Don't skip it. Bring it to me.
Okay, he's behind the counter, and he's like putting bottles into a little cart, and he like starts to take the bottles out, and he looks at you. He starts to put the bottles back in. He's like, "Don't skip it." Ale? Yeah. He's got a big old bottle. He goes over and he pulls you a tap of ale and slams it onto the table. It has like no head, but it smells like ale.
I chug it down.
It's not very good, but hey, it's ale. He wheels the cart out to you. He says, "Oh, here you go. Here's your wine. How do you guys? How are y'all gonna be paying for all this? All this wine. That's gonna be 10 gold plus the sausages. That's gonna be another silver. That beer. That's 11 gold. Are you guys?"
Palmerell drops 20 gold in his hand.
His eyes go wide. He says, "Oh." He stuffs it in his little apron pocket real quick. He says, "What else can I get you? Are you guys gonna be staying with me?"
Yeah, we're gonna be staying, and we're gonna be eating one of everything you've got. Just let's start with some appetizers and keep it coming.
Oh, all right. Well, I highly recommend the fly plate. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's delicious. They're crispy, deep fried, and they're served with an aioli dip that is just to die for.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try anything once.
The guy in the corner looks at you guys and crunches a giant fly in his mouth and just nods at you, and then goes back to sipping his glass.
Pomerol has got the first bottle of wine turned bottom to the ceiling in his mouth and just looks over and is just nodding his head at the fly aioli.
Yeah, so he starts serving you guys. I mean, if y'all are buying
I'm
them up,
planning just to get hammered and drunk
Hammered.
and eat 2 of everything. And
we'll say with lodging, everything you eat and everything, what you've paid, you've already given him 20. That'll get you a long ways. It'll be like another 10 gold total, and y'all are set.
VIP experience. That's what we want.
Pomerol
Yeah.
is just slamming wine. He's forgotten he paid him. He doesn't know that he needs to pay him more. He's just slamming wine. He's trying to hand bottles to Body Knock and Learlock.
Oh, he brings the blood sausage out, and it's got a funky smell, but the taste is pretty good. Learlock, Body Knock, what are y'all doing in your first civilization experience in weeks?
I am being quiet and observant and just keeping an eye around. Obviously, there's the guy in the corner. Just not super comfortable in a new place with people. I'm just trying to take my beverages in moderation. Something gets past me, I drink a little bit of it and then pass it on.
Alright, Body Knock, what are you up to?
Obviously, I'm eating sausage.
Just cramming them.
Kind of same, just kind of keeping an eye on things, looking around, assessing.
Yeah, so you guys notice being a little bit keen. It's like super dead in here, and y'all didn't get here that late. Like sunset was an hour ago, so people should be in here having dinner and stuff. It's very weird that, you know, it's a pretty big establishment. It's weirdly empty.
So I'm gonna ask the frog guy. Well, what's with the business?
As best you can tell with frog expression, kind of looks down. He's like, well, you know, business has been a little slow. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's people see all these problems with the, you know, beasts and animals causing trouble, and they make associations. That's all I'm gonna say. It's definitely been a bit of a damper, but we make do. We make do, right, bud? And the guy in the corner kind of lifts a beer. And he's like, I'll get you another one right now in just a minute. But, you know, I'm getting through it. It's not ideal, but, you know, well, it'll all blow over, I'm sure, and then everything will go back to normal. He just kind of cleans the glass and looks down.
Do we catch your name, sir?
Oh, apologies. Yeah, no, I've got a name. My name's Spit Bibley.
Oh my goodness.
Spit Bibley.
Spit Bibley, yep. You can just call me
A
Spit,
lovely
though.
name.
I'd prefer to call you Spit Bibley if you don't mind.
Ah, no, that's perfectly fine. A little formal. What can I call you fellas?
Pomerol spit wine all over Learlock.
Oh, just like that. You nailed it. Follow that up with a Bibley and you're perfect.
I'm Talik.
Tolly, oh, you don't have a last name? I was going to call you by your first and last. We'll have a little thing.
Yeah, Talik Grug.
Talik Grug. Oh, Grug.
Yep.
You're not from Megzim, are you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, no. I thought the Grugs were wiped out a decade ago.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up. But yeah,
Oh,
we were.
Sorry, bud. I didn't mean to strike a nerve or anything. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, a little bit of a buzzkill.
Yeah,
but-
no, sorry. You want another beer? You know what? This
please.
next beer's on the house. Here you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Body Knock, why is that strange frog man gonna put Talik's beer on top of the building?
So, what?
What? He said it was on the house.
Oh God.
Pomerol, it's a phrase over here. It's just a figure of speech.
Learlock's had it with him.
Pomerel drunkenly stands up and he declares to the frogman, I am Pomerel, the gatekeeper, and he stumbles drunkenly forward and he snatches up the mug of ale that was poured for the man in the corner and he stumbles over and he hands it to the guy in the corner. And he looks at the guy in the corner, he says, the gatekeeper, and he thumps his chest and he goes back to his chair and goes back to drinking his wine.
The guy looks up at you. He's drunk as shit. I mean, he's like barely conscious, and he kind of giggles at me. He says, "The drunk," and points at himself.
During this whole display, I take a little bit of heavier drink and think royalty.
Oh man. Yeah. Anything y'all want to talk to Spit about, or y'all want to go to bed? He's got accommodations for your horses. He's actually got like proper stables. Probably the best you've had in a while.
Pomerel telepathically asks Sunbeam, how's the stables?
God, dude, they're so fucking good. They got fantastic alfalfa. The water's fresh as hell. Dude, this is the best stables we've had in a long ass time. I'm telling you, I can shit, and there's this huge pile of hay to catch the shit. It's a totally separate pile of hay from the alfalfa that's in the feeding trough. Dude, we're gonna stay here. We're staying here a while, right? Like we're hanging out here.
Pomerel goes, I'm gonna have to kill you so you can get a different voice. This one's hurting me too bad.
Hurts me too, man. Hurts me too.
Karlach's gonna stumble up to his room for the night and call it. Take an extra pint with him to his room to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna wander
Out of the building?
out of the building to the stables, and then I will just kind of take in everything around me and say out loud, this place looks a little safer than the last. And with that phrase, I am casting Word of Recall and designating this as a sanctuary.
What?
Oh yeah.
What is? I'm not even gonna ask. I'm not even gonna ask. You've claimed it, and when and if the time comes, you tell me what the fuck that does. I'm not even gonna look it up.
Okay, that's fun.
I have
That's
some
awesome.
guesses, but that sounds great. I have not looked at a lot of the high level spells, so a lot of this stuff is gonna be just mind melting for me.
And then I will take my time and attend the horses a little bit and then go back inside.
Yeah, Revenge has been carrying you a while. Needs a little love. As you're tending to Revenge, you notice that some of the mud on him is kind of caking up, just kind of like turning solid and clay-like. You kind of knock it off a little bit, get him back to some fresh mud, but he doesn't look so hot.
What's wrong, buddy? You're not looking too great.
He just kind of neighs and eats the grass.
I'll attempt to cast just a level 2 Cure Wounds and see if that alleviates any of his ickiness.
Yeah, kind of like putting a salve on a dry spot. It definitely, you can kind of soften it up a little bit, give him a little reprieve. He kind of lets out a breath like he was holding something in a little bit, and kind of.
The rot will get to you. It's a little bit of a creepy place in there.
Sunbeam in there kind of looks over. And can Sunbeam talk to other people, Seth, or just you?
Just me.
Okay. He kind of neighs at you a little bit. Kind of. That's what his neigh sounds like right now.
Wow.
Oh, you sound a little sickly too, bud. I haven't interacted with Sunbeam really, so I'm going to slowly do the same thing. Attempt to do the same thing to Sunbeam.
He pulls his head back away from you until he can't quite get far enough away from you that you can touch him. And you kind of... No.
All right, fine. You're fine. Never mind. Forget I tried to help.
He kind of rubs his snout on your cheek.
Oh, okay. And then I'll do the cure wounds as well. Maybe I'll make you feel a little bit better.
He seems grateful.
And then I'll wander back inside.
When Alirlock gets back inside, he sees that Pomerel never made it to a bed. He's over in the corner with the other drunk guy, passed out, sitting in a chair, head on table, just forehead on the table, hands down by his side, just snoozing.
When Alirlock walks in, the other drunk guy wakes up for a second, says, "Another one," and just lays back in his chair and passes back out.
I don't think you need another one, bud. I'll attempt to. I don't want to say carry. I want to try and carry him. I just want to try and rouse Pomerel because he was really
Okay.
wanting a nice bed.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you wrestle him. I assume Palmer will wake up from just a gentle nudging.
Yeah. Oh, you're not Sunbeam. Okay. And then Pomerel grabs Alirlock by both shoulders and tries to use him to right himself into a
Oh,
standing
God.
position.
Alirlock's pretty sturdy. I
Yeah.
bet he'd be able to hold on.
Come on,
Oh, yeah.
let's get you to bed.
So soft.
That's right. It's gonna be
That's right.
soft.
Oh man, Body Doc, what are you doing? Finishing up your evening? Just sausaging it?
Sausage fest.
I'm gonna go to my room and just gather all the sausages I can. Just heck with.
He loads you up, man. He gives you a platter of 24 of them. He's like, "Oh yeah, you can take some to go. That's fine. They keep pretty well. Yeah, once they're cooked, yeah, they'll keep for a day or two."
Won't be lasting for a day or two, buddy.
Yeah, he has no idea you're gonna pound them.
Pounding sausages.
So yeah, we will fast forward to the next morning with y'all in Pokerit, and I think that's a pretty good place to call it.
Yeah, that's great.
Indeed.
All right. That was fun.
That was fun. Y'all have made it. Oh my god, what a freaking journey to get here. Oh my gosh.
Hundreds of miles, right? I mean, hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah,
of
literally. Yeah. Y'all been going 25 miles a day, and y'all have been on the road for weeks. I mean, weeks and weeks. So yeah, at least hundreds of miles. I mean, maybe close to 1,000 miles.
miles.
If it's been 4 weeks, if it's been 40 days, 1,000 miles.
Awesome. Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.